Welcome back to the Tower of London, and we continue our series looking at different parts of the Tower of London. But in this one, we wanted to take you for a walk. So we don't want to take you to individual parts because we've covered that in many other videos. In this video, we want to take you for a walk around the streets. Yeah, the ways to get between the different towers and the different parts of the Tower of London, which means a good long walk along the cobblestone streets and also to see some of the towers that you can't actually go inside. So it gives you an all-round view from the inside of the Tower of London. So this could be the video for you if you're planning a trip there, so you can see how to get between one place and another. And of course, if you're coming for the Crown Jewels, you want to know the quickest way to get to the Crown Jewels if you're coming at the opening time, because that's the best time to get in and to see them. Okay, so we're going to go through the first bit, which is this tower here, which once again you cannot go inside, and it's actually used as a sort of an office and a place for the warders here, and it's the Bywood Tower. So once you've gone through this arch of the tower that's been standing here since 1280, you start to hit the cobblestone streets. And yes, you're immediately taken back. You've got the bell tower right here in front of you. And also to the left-hand side, you've got the street which contains the Royal Mint, which was one of the first videos that we covered here. Because once again, the Royal Mint is one of those places that people forget and don't bother going to. Why? Because it's tucked down this side street here, and so many other people, when they come into the Tower of London, peg it straight ahead. They're busy going into the shops to get their audio guide, and they completely miss the Royal Mint. So if you've seen our video on that previously, it's in our library if you haven't. And don't forget, we've got a whole playlist of all of the different comprehensive parts of the Tower of London. Okay, let's continue our walk. This is Water Lane. So this road is used every single night for a ceremony at about 10 o'clock at night, which you can go to and you get tickets in advance online, and it's called the Ceremony of the Keys. Now, I have attended it before, but you cannot film it. It's one of those things that you can't film. So whilst I've attended it and I've seen the ceremony in progress, you can't actually film it, but it's all done and you all stand by the side of this road here. Now, here we go. We're looking at Traitor's Gate, which of course we featured when we did the Bloody Tower, which is just above this portcullis here. So these sets of arches underneath the Bloody Tower, once again another video that we featured here, take you up by the side of the White Tower, which is on the right hand side. Not only that, you've got remains from some of the previous tower as well, some of the walls in that guarded area just there on the right hand side. Plus also you'll get some of the ravens there as well, and we're going to show you some of those in just one second. They could be all over the Tower of London and are often. And speaking of which, keeping their beady eyes on everyone coming into the Tower of London, there you go, there are two on the wall up there. And the great thing is there's always a photo opportunity because you never know where you're going to see them, but also the racket that they make as well. It's like an alarm signal. You know exactly where they are and you can find them very quickly. As you're about to see here, we've got one on some of the old wall remains here, and you're about to see another one on the stairs right in front of us. Now, you get a bit of a bonus if you come up this way. So yes, you've got the stairs to negotiate, and it also depends who's coming down. But also do be careful because sometimes the tours stop here on the stairs, and it's very easy to get caught in those and it's difficult to get round. But also, if you look round this way, you get a fantastic view of Tower Bridge as well. This gives you a fantastic photo opportunity. Now in this position, as you look up, you're standing right underneath the impressive White Tower, which once again we've covered in a previous video, and there's so much in there, including an amazing church that so many people don't actually realise is in there. But once again, when you get to the top, you've got this great viewing platform and you get great views back over the grass area there to Tower Bridge and right across the Tower of London. So once again, the purpose of this video isn't to give you the highlights of the Tower of London. We've done that in the individual videos. This is just to give you an idea where all of the different parts are situated. So here you've got the main courtyard. This sort of road and this thoroughfare here takes you into the entrance of the Bloody Tower, so you can do that. Here you get a fantastic view of some of the soldiers on duty, but also some of the houses in which the guards actually live in whilst they're here at the Tower of London. And these look pretty phenomenal and is a great photo opportunity as well. It's also worth bearing in mind they quite often use this grass area during the Christmas decorations time to put something in there, including some really big trees. Now here is St Peter ad Vincula, which we featured as another separate video, and we filmed inside that. And here, this statue, this monument that's here, is to where the beheadings took place here in the Tower of London. Let's face it, if you're doing a video on the Tower of London and you're not talking about death and beheadings, you're not really doing it justice at all, are you? Despite the fact that there weren't that many that actually took place here. Now, if you or someone you're coming with is very, very sound sensitive, this can be quite a busy and quite a loud area. And the reason for that is the beefeaters doing their guides often stand here and get the crowd's attention and are shouting very, very loudly. So it's well worth bearing that in mind. Now, the building on our left is the main barracks in which the crown jewels are situated. And as you can see here, I was here during the middle of the day. There's a lengthy queue waiting to go in and see it. Now, I know I've mentioned it before, but we haven't done a video on the crown jewels because you're not allowed to film when you're in there, and they're very, very hot on that. But if you're going to get in there and get to see them during busy times like middle of summer and other holiday times as well, then the suggestion is get here for about 9:30, wait until the Tower of London opens, and then get straight over and in. It gives you an uninterrupted view, plus also you don't have to queue that long as well. If you do get in the queue, don't worry, they've got people making sure that the queue does keep moving. So as we look back here at the White Tower from the other angle, and let's face it, this is one heck of an impressive building and one of the original buildings here built in the Tower of London, you really do get a phenomenal view, but also you get the sort of sense as well of how large the area is, but how close other parts are to it. So here, as you go down the road, taking in the circumference of the White Tower, the buildings we're looking at here used to be the old Royal Infirmary. Of course, they've now been changed and are part of the accommodation barracks here. So if you come into the Tower of London and you think, wow, I'm spending a whole day here and there's going to be lots and lots of walking around, as you can see, there's lots of benches for you to sit on so you can rest up as well. Plus also, as you're sort of walking around, you can see all of the armaments as well, which are all scattered around. So the building over here, that is the cafe area where they do really, really good food and drink in there. So if you want refreshments and haven't brought your own with you, that's a really good way of doing it. And this is the green area that we looked at before from the other side, giving you that view back over Tower Bridge. You can see the Shard over there in the background. Of course, there you've got the southern battlements, which we featured in a previous video as well, which gives you great views across the Thames and anything coming up and down the Thames as well. So you can see the big elephant there, and of course don't forget London Zoo was once based out of the Tower of London with the Royal Menagerie of all the different types of animals there. And don't forget you've got that walkway up the top there which is leading to the Salt Tower, which is over there in the corner, which you can access by a set of steps which are just behind the tree here. There you go, you can see where you can get up and down to that as well to give you great views across. Now here on the other side of the green, so you can see the entrance into the White Tower there if you're looking to get in, and just on the other side here you've also got another cafe. So if you want to avoid the cafe which is inside and stick outside, then you've got these umbrellas and you've got the whole area set up. You've got a gift shop and a cafe area right down here so you can get refreshments and come and relax in the lovely sunshine. Well, providing it is a lovely sunny day here at the Tower of London, of course. So, as you do when you're in the Tower of London and everything's historical, why not just leave a large cannon outside so you can have a look at that, dating from 1530. Yes, it's nearly 500 years old and it's just sitting here. So the Tower of London for me is just one of those historical places in London where you just stand there and really the hairs on the back of your neck stand up, and it's just because you're going back so far in time. So one of the questions that often get asked, are there lots of public conveniences? Yes, they're all scattered around and they're well labelled as well. And here you've got the Queen Elizabeth II Arch, which was named as such as part of the Queen's Jubilee. But then as you go around, you've got this tower here, which so many people miss because you don't actually realise just around the side to the tower you can get down and get into it. That's the Cradle Tower. And then as you come down this part, which is an extension to Water Lane, which we walked at right at the beginning, you've got lots of different cannons down here and different types of armoury as well. Again, with everything labelled up, you get to find out the history of the different types of cannons that you've got sitting here. And there you go, you can see loads and loads of them sitting in a row as well. And you're back on the cobblestones, which also makes you feel like you've gone back in history. But what I love about this, it's one of those places where you're just free to roam. So if you haven't got one already, make sure if you're going there, you pick up a map, which are right by the entrance. They give those away in free. Plus, also they do them in different languages as well, just to help you find yourself around. Now, those people that are coming out from underground there have just come out of the Bloody Tower, and that is the torture section. So that is the way out from that. So there's a number of these soldier boxes scattered around for you to take a photo opportunity. So if you see one, jump inside and get that photo. And for me, this is one of the most beautiful views here at the Tower of London of the White Tower from underneath the arch. So hopefully this video has just given you an idea of what it feels like to be in the Tower of London, to walk around, and just how close everything is within it. It just gives you that sense of perspective, which other videos don't give you, especially when you're looking at different parts of the Tower of London. So hopefully this helps with the collection. Anyway, here's a video in the top right hand corner of one part of the Tower of London we've been to previously.